Welcome to another instant reaction. My name is Nathan Harvey, host of the Harvey Hour. Derek Carr has just been benched for Jarrett Stidham. Backup quarterback Jarrett Stidham, former Patriot Jarrett Stidham, and he will be the starting quarterback for the remainder of the year. Statistically and mathematically, the Raiders are not out of the playoffs. They're not technically eliminated. Their chances are just very, very slim. And I want to talk about this for a second because the chances are Derek Carr did sign an extension but can get released at the end of the year for basically no penalty. I guarantee you, if he hits the open market, and I think he will, I do not think he'll return to the Raiders after saying, you know what, you're going to be benched now. Why don't you come back and play for us week one again? We'll put more faith into you in week one. The team seems like Josh Jacobs is frustrated. He doesn't want to be there. Devontae Adams has had problems with the entire team not being as efficient as it could be. Josh McDaniels a couple days ago called out Derek Carr for, he's saying we just need to throw the ball better. So this was never really surprised, and actually a QB swap was actually in question back in Week 16, this previous week. Derek Carr did play, and now Josh McDaniels seems to have decided to sit Derek Carr for the remainder of the season. And for a large part of my time on this show, and even before this, I opened up the year putting Derek Carr at my number 10 out of the best quarterbacks entering this year, the 2022-2023 season, and I had Lamar Jackson at number 11 because he just simply didn't finish out the year. I'm not going to put a guy who didn't even finish the year in my top 10. I'm going to at least put the minimum criteria is that you finish out the year, and that's what Derek Carr did. So I want to break this down because I think if Derek Carr does hit the open market, he will be a very valuable asset to most, if not, honestly, to most teams in the NFL. I would take him probably over half the league, and that's what I have him right now. In his career, he's been above average player. He just has. I think I have Jimmy G at the 14-13 spot. Derek Carr get the 12th spot. He could. If Jimmy G's number 14, I'll put Derek Carr at 13. Maybe Dak is above or below him. But I want to break this down because Derek Carr has been dealing with a lot of things since entering the league in 2014. He's had a total of 5 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinators. Technically 5 if you include the second stint with Greg Olson. He first was there in 2014 and then left the team and then came back in 2021, 2018 to 2021. So he's dealt with a lot on this team. He's dealt with his number 1 receiver, Henry Ruggs, being arrested back in 2021, and in that year, he still had the 6th best passing offense in the league. He dealt with John Gruden having any sort of racism and any other ism, any phobia, all of it. He resigned after, I have it right here, Week 5. John Gruden resigned after Week 5. I think we need to chill it down with a little bit of the Derek Carr hate. He's dealt with a lot in this league, and he still has the most fourth-quarter comebacks since entering the league in 2014. This season has been... okay, I'm not going to give Derek Carr a complete pass on this season because there have been several games, like this previous one, where it has basically been on him. But there are also a lot of games where it's not on him. For instance... what would the narrative be if Derek Carr goes out and beats the Chiefs this year? If Josh McDaniels decides not to go for it on a 2-point conversion, they tied up 30 apiece. Their defense has been playing pretty well up until that point. Who knows? They go to overtime and they win the toss. I think with the way the offense was rolling in that second half of the game, and especially in that fourth quarter, Derek Carr would have beaten Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. In 2021, just this past year, and that year was a complete mess. You had Henry Ruggs being arrested. You had John Gruden resigning. You had Rich Bisaccia coming in as your head coach. You had a tremendous comeback against the Ravens in Week 1, outthrowing Lamar Jackson, another reason why he was number 10 going into this year. You made the playoffs after losing your head coach and putting in an interim head coach, and the interim head coach going 7-5, which is very, very impressive. We take a look at some of the interim head coaches around the league recently. There's nowhere near the amount of success. And this is without the number 1 receiver they had. He beat Justin Herbert. They went 1 of 1, and that was the game he actually made it into the playoffs. He started off the year with the 5 of his first 7 games. He had over 300 yards passing. This year, Josh McDaniels just did a lot of it was just poor coaching. It really, really was poor coaching. Bad clock management. Derek Carr has made some mistakes here, but if Derek Carr hits the open market, which I think he will, because clearly they want to move in a different direction than Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs seems to be out the door already. Devontae Adams was frustrated. He just signed a massive, I think, 5-year, 4-year deal with the Raiders. Who knows what's going to happen? But I think when Derek Carr hits the open market, you tell me who you'd rather. You know, you probably choose him over. You definitely choose him over Taylor Heineke or Carson Wentz. Daniel Jones, you would put him over 1,000%. The Jets have a QB situation. New England has a QB situation. Tua, we're going to get this on the show Friday. We open with Tua's latest injury. Would you choose him over Tua, who seemingly might have to end his career due to all these concussions? He's had 3 head injuries, 2 confirmed concussions so far this year. Pittsburgh, right now, Kenny Pickett or Derek Carr, an established quarterback or one that's growing? That's an argument right now because I like Kenny Pickett. Deshaun Watson. I don't know if we'll have to wait till either the end of the year or going into next year. Is it just rust or is he genuinely that bad now? Tennessee, they need a quarterback situation. Malik Willis is not a stable starter. I don't think he'll be ready in 2 years to be a starter in the NFL. Ryan Tannehill's dealing with injuries. I would choose Derek Carr over Ryan Tannehill any day of the week. Indianapolis has a situation with a quarterback. Houston's trying to get a quarterback. They'll probably get Bryce Young, but as of right now, Houston needs a quarterback. Denver, I said this on yesterday's show, on Tuesday's show. Russell Wilson, I'm going to say this is a trend, not a blip. I said this is going to be what Russell Wilson is. Because they're in that Rams game, that was not nowhere near Nathaniel. That was not on Nathaniel Hackett in the least. That was strictly on Russell Wilson. Arizona, Kyler Murray, he's scared to run the ball now. He just tore his ACL. He'll be out till November. Bring Derek Carr in. You know, the Rams, Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr, that could be up for discussion. Matthew Stafford's dealing with injuries. That's why I think the Rams might keep Baker Mayfield. The Seahawks, Geno Smith. Would Derek Carr fit in with that offense? Maybe. San Francisco, they have their guy. Even if I thought Derek Carr was the key piece of that team, regardless, it wouldn't have mattered. They seem to really want Trey Lance. Atlanta, they need a quarterback. The Saints need a quarterback. Carolina needs a quarterback. And Brady looks to be out the door. Chicago, Justin Fields is good. He's really good. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, yeah, I would still pick him. I would 100% pick Aaron Rodgers over Derek Carr. Jared Goff, yeah, he's been good this year, but I would still choose Derek Carr over him. In Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, it depends. Am I getting Kirk Cousins 1 p.m. or am I getting Kirk Cousins prime time? That's where you have to debate whether or not Derek Carr is better than him. So I think we need to chill it down a little bit with the Derek Carr hate. I mean, I've been a fan of Derek Carr, but I've also been objective of Derek Carr, and that's why it's not a bash on Derek Carr to say that Tom Brady would be a perfect fit in this offense. I just knew that the way the team is basically imploding on itself, Brady would be interested in that. Josh McDaniels is the head coach. Josh Jacobs is an established running back. I guarantee you, if Brady decided to come over to the Raiders, Josh Jacobs would stay. Devontae Adams would be happier. Brady has Devontae Adams, which would be his best receiver since Randy Moss. Darren Waller's a very viable tight end. A couple of years ago, before he got hurt a bunch, he was the top 3 tight end in the league. And then, of course, you probably have Gronk coming back. There's been rumors that Gronk will come back. So that means if you go over to Las Vegas, you have Darren Waller, you'll probably get Gronkowski too. Brady would have his Amendola-Edelman blend in Hunter Renfrow. So it's not a bash on Derek Carr. I just kind of saw that Derek Carr the Raiders just didn't want Derek Carr to be on the team anymore. And, you know, there was a window of opportunity in case Derek Carr did not play well this year. They would have the right to release him and not get that huge 3-year extension cap hit that Derek Carr would have in the following year. So I'm a little bit surprised, but with the way the season's been going for the Raiders, bad coaching decisions, Derek Carr not playing adequate, I mean, I'm not that surprised. But I'm saying Derek Carr's in the open market. He's not going to be a Raider anymore, which is unfortunate. I like Derek Carr. I put him in my top 10 start of week 1. He was out the next, I think, 2 top 10s I did, with another one coming in a couple of weeks here. But, hey, Derek Carr, free agency next year, look out for it.